Number one, he says in verse 12, having been buried with him in baptism, in which you were also raised with him through faith in the powerful working of God who also raised him from the dead. You were buried but now raised. There's a new nature. You're no longer your old you. You're a new you. There's a new nature. Before you had no power to resist sin. Now you have the power to resist sin. Ephesians chapter 2 says we were dead in our transgressions. A dead person has no power to turn on or switch off the lights. A dead person has no power to, to say stop doing what you're doing because he's lifeless. We were lifeless. We had no power to resist sin. And yet God says he made us alive through Christ. We were raised with him. Ephesians chapter 4 says, clothe yourself to new nature, which was created according to God's image in righteousness and true holiness. You get a lion, and you get a lion to choose between steak and lettuce. What will he choose? Obviously, it's steak, right? Okay, he won't eat the lettuce. Okay, he's a carnivore. But if for some reason you could get goat's DNA and inject it in the lion, and somehow the internal genetic makeup changes, now his nature has changed. Give him a choice between steak and lettuce, he'll go for the lettuce or the grass. You see, it's not the external, it's the internal. When God changes the nature from the inside, then behavior will follow after. Sometimes we're so stuck on changing external behavior, we have not changed the internal, and there's no new nature. Then because of the new old nature, it's still the old affections. We still follow the old desires and run after the things that we used to run after, thinking, oh, I thought I've changed. No, it's just an external change. We just started going to church. We just started reading the Bible. We just started praying. It's all external. But if it's not changing on the inside, behavior will remain. You'll revert back. It's not new behavior, but new affections. And new affections mean coming from a new nature. Kind of like that lion illustration. You run after the lettuce, and that lion will start saying, bah, all right? Because it's no longer a lion. There's the new nature inside. It's not new behavior. It's new affections. Spoke to Pastor Joey, had lunch with a young man recently. And he was just talking about, he's traveled around the world. He studied in Boston, studied in New York. He's done the rounds. And he's met all the most beautiful women in the world and has had relationships with them and physical intimacy with them. And yet he said at the end of it all, it was meaningless and it wasn't fulfilling at all. And I've tried to change. I've tried to do things to change my ways, but I reverted because it was external. Self-help books may help, but it's not completely helpful. But he said, when Jesus captivated my heart, everything changed. My affections changed because my nature changed.